the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag. Hey there, Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns. Just want to comment and say BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for football, baseball, boxing, golf, and much more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. JD, man, you made some big noise on YouTube yesterday.
Really?
Lots of people chiming in. A lot of new subscribers from that video alone of you just telling the coaching staff to wake up a little bit, among other things too. But yeah, we got a lot of new subs, a lot of comments, and hey man, you're speaking the truth. That we would do that for 3 years on the show, but hey, people are finally starting to see it.
Yeah, man. Look, that's what they're gonna get. They're gonna get the truth here. Right. And the thing is, I think we're really balanced in our assessment. At least I try to be. I try to get the perspective of the player. Also, for being a coach, but being in the locker room, I totally understand exactly what the guys feel, what they've been going through, some of the struggles and things you just have to deal with. And so, to me, man, this is important. It's important to have these conversations, and it's important to just, to really get on here and just voice your opinion. The thing is, I didn't want to come out here. I didn't want it to make it seem like it was something that was crazy or terrible, And so I didn't want it to make it seem like the sky was falling or the guys weren't necessarily doing their job. I think all I was trying to do is reiterate to them that, hey, you know what? Hey, all you need to do is go in out there and do your job. Make sure your job is done. Don't worry about anybody else. Do your job. The job that you have signed the contract to do. Same thing for the coaches and the players. But more importantly, man, we here just to make sure that we give them the support as well. Okay, so this ain't something to jump on their throats about, right? They know fully well, because they are professionals, what they have been lacking in, what hasn't been working. But now there's a push. Now it's about the push, okay? Now to set yourself up for the playoffs. And this is where it starts to become vital that everything starts working in the way that you want us to start working, okay? And that's what I think I was kind of, in at least in my assessment, in my rant, I guess you would say, I was kind of getting to. But I think it was important. It was important just to be honest. It's important to have some of that honesty about some of the things that's going on, things that are plaguing us. And you can't really deny it. You can't. You just got to look at problems, man. You got to deal with the hip, straightforward, right? So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, Kathy. One of those things too, like this is something that I saw because we see a lot of comments on that one clip that we talked about. We talked about the coaching staff waking up and having missing EB, a guy who's kind of a spark plug, will kind of light a fire under everyone's ass. And we're kind of missing that ingredient on the sidelines, and Andy's could probably get any light a fire under his assistant coaching staff's ass, to try to, get people going a little bit, give that EB spark. But one of those things that you brought up, and you brought this up, and a lot of people really haven't been saying this. I mean, yeah, people have been saying, oh yeah, we miss EB, but to actually come out and say it, you weren't talking crap about any specific coach. You were just saying we're just missing that, and we're missing that kind of coach where receiver runs a wrong route, oh, okay, well here sit right next to me. We can go over this stuff. And we're not really seeing that. And NBC cameras, all these cameras, they show receivers come back. That 7-man rotation we got. We don't really see that kind of embrace between the assistant coach or the Nagy put his arm around so-and-so or any kind of fire. And, hopefully like that video made the rounds and hopefully Matt Nagy, hopefully he can start to kind of put some guys' feet to the fire a little bit.
Well, listen, I take a lot from, the guys we had on a couple of weeks ago in Al Saunders for all that he's done over the years, coaching 50 years in the NFL. Can you believe that? 50 years coaching? Man, I think he said 38 maybe in the NFL, but 50 total.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Incredible. And then Larry Kirksey also too. You were just talking about the development of younger guys. But like you were just talking about, we don't necessarily see that instruction or correction. We don't see it in real time. And so if a guy's coming on the sideline, obviously, the cameras are not on the guys on the sideline all the time. But it is important that you correct a guy right then. The reality is you need to correct guys in practice if it's not going on. The game is too late. At that point, man, the hay is in the barn, right? I mean, you have everything, the game plan's put together. So if you make a mistake out there, you got to understand, like, look, we got to address this right now while we're not on the same page because it's going to be costly. It can be costly. So my thing is and the reality is this. Well, I don't know what they're doing in practice. Okay. I'm not at their practice. I don't know what they're doing in the meetings because I'm not in the meeting. But I've been at practices. I have been in meetings. I know fully well how these things work. I understand the conversations that are had in the room. There's only so many things you can do in football, okay? Football comes down to, catching, tackling, passing. That's what it's going to be, and the X's and O's. And then you get into the intricate parts of what you need to do as far as being a football player out there on the field, right? Larry Kirksey was saying, being a good coach is you want to put a good product out there on the field, okay? You're almost, the players are almost an extension of who you are. They're an extension of your personality. They're an extension of your emotion. They're an extension of you from what you've been teaching them, the tools that you've been giving them, the instruction that you've been telling them week in and week out. In film room, everything, possibly. So, especially in a game, we're seeing guys who made, okay, and I don't want to just make it where it's just all about the wide receivers. But if there are things that there are miscues, the guys are missing, why is this continuing to be happening? That's the question. But what I love today about what Andy said in this press conference, okay, he was saying, like I had mentioned, that they got to do a much better job of putting guys in a position to make plays. They have to. That's the coach's job. So the coach's job is the direction, right? He's the one that puts everything together. He's the conductor, puts everybody in the right places and positions to make the plays. And so you can see that, and he said it. He knew, especially down there in the red zone, when we decided that Pacheco gets our way down there on the first series, and also we passed it on first down. It's 1st and 5, the 6-yard line, and we pass it, or 1st and goal from the 6-yard line, and we're passing the football. And that might not be the best decision. That's a bad decision. It's a bad decision. So there are other things you could have done to help out with that. Same thing. When we know that we have certain tendencies that we get into, the defense is going to know it. There's plenty of film out there to know what maybe some of our cues are. The DB said he's seen a tail that maybe Patrick did to know that the little pass out to Sky Moore was going to be that. It was going to be, with the out and up route, or, if you want to say wide receiver, wheel route. And he read it. So these guys get paid too. And the thing is, in the NFL, you're not really fooling anybody. You're not. You can try to trick them. But
so regarding that whole thing, Mahomes actually said he saw what Nixon had said about that and said that was the first time he made that particular check in his time with the Chiefs, which is interesting.
Say it again.
Mahomes said when he saw what that cornerback said, he said that was the first time he made that particular check in his time with the Chiefs. So what do you think about that?
It could be. I don't know. Maybe the guy's seen something else. And sometimes even in like formations, in yourself, maybe watching film, like, okay, this is possible. I've seen him run it out of this formation before. And so maybe he just recognized the formation. Maybe that was part of what he's seen. Okay. And it could be also too down in distance of thinking this is what they like to do in this scenario, in this situation. So he says that maybe he saw something, maybe he didn't. Pat saying that's the first time he made that check, then yeah, maybe. But I do know this, whatever it was, the guy made a good play.
He was all over it.
He was all over it. He read it. So does that mean that we're becoming predictable in some of our calls? Possibly. Yeah, absolutely. And so that is something that the coaches got to get much better at, right? You don't want to just go on your tendencies, but you definitely got to do something that you know is going to work, okay? And if you know something is working in the game, you want to stick with it. Yeah. And a lot of what was working in the game was running the football with Pacheco, all right? Yeah. And then also, too, getting Kelsey more involved in the game, okay? But that's going to dictate getting our guys on the outside doing their job, doing the things that they need to do to help open up the offense.
Yeah, you're actually getting at some stuff that we're going to talk about in our first topic tonight, which was actually a question from one of our commenters on the video yesterday. But yeah, so we're going to get into previewing this Bills-Chiefs game. It's a huge game for both teams, really. We're going to get into all that and why it's so big for us, as well as the Bills. And then, of course, we'll be taking any questions we have from you guys. Anybody wants to be on the shows in the live chat right now, just chat away in the message and tell us what your comment or your question will be for JD, and we'll send you the link and get you on the show. But we're going to dive in here with our first topic, JD. So, yeah, you kind of hitting at breaking trends and stuff and kind of, going away from a little bit to kind of surprise the defense. So we've had a lot of people hitting us up on YouTube after your rant on the coaching staff needing to wake up and have a little more EB in them. So we got a question from our guy, Chad at MWK Shield 1 about our base offense. And this is what he wrote yesterday in his comment. I would love to hear you two's opinion on this. I think KC starters that should see the majority of reps should be Kelsey, Pacheco, Rice, Gray, and Watson. Cycle in Tony here and there to keep defenses honest. My reasoning behind this is not only are those clearly your best players right now on offense, but the run game is really what is carrying KC, and having the ability to have two tight ends in there that are threats to catch the football and be better blockers than a Sky Moore or MVS would bolster the run game even more. I'd love to hear what Jason has to say about a two tight end set with this offense being the base offense, since he was a staple in a two tight end offense that was a run first team. JD, what do you think about this whole comment? What do you think about kind of changing and becoming a kind of adapting to what we are doing best in this year as being a run first team? What do you think about that? And do you think that will ever happen with the Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes combination?
You're talking about the two tight end set?
Well, he's talking about changing our base offense to more of that.
More two tight end set. You know what? I think the way that they're bringing the two tight end set in, I think they're doing a pretty decent job with 12 personnel and 13 personnel when they need to. I do believe that we do need to do more of it because Noah Gray is a very capable receiver, the game. And I think he needs to get more looks. I don't think you can really question, his work ethic, how hard he puts into the game, him actually getting open and catching balls. He's been a guy that's been surprising for us, actually making plays. He's been making a lot of plays, scored a touchdown for us last week. And so I love the two tight end sets. And the reason I love the two tight end sets is because you don't know what they're going to do out of it. When you got that second guy who's a capable receiver, you could throw the ball to him, right? You could widen Kelsey out wide if you wanted to. Okay, you can split him out there at wide. Let him be a wide receiver. Okay, get him one-on-one with a corner. All right, if the corner's going to get on him, let Kelsey big body him up. Right, I'll take Kelsey all day to win that route. But the thing is, because our running game is very effective, I love it because we can run the ball with Pacheco. We could motion that second tight end to the backfield, or we could just put him on a line of scrimmage. We can run counter with it. What our counter is running it's really good right now. Our counter game is really good. It's very effective. But our guys can do, and we got very athletic tight ends that can block. Travis is doing a hell of a job blocking right now. Noah's doing a good job of sticking his nose in there to go hit guys in the mouth. So I love 12 personnel. I really love it. And especially in the red zone, we definitely got to do more of it. And I think if at times if we struggle just out there in midfield, bring it in. Right? So I do love 12 personnel. Now, I wouldn't say that will be our base offense. I don't think we'll do that. And I don't think we necessarily have to go to that. I think we have enough capable wide receivers to get these things done. I will just go ahead and reiterate to this. We have talented guys, okay? I'm not going to sit there and act like we don't have talented wide receivers, because we do, all right? It's getting them guys involved is the problem. That's the question. One of the questions we were talking about, and he named it, was Kadarius Toney, right? What's the deal? What are we going to do to get Kadarius Toney involved in the game, okay? As opposed to lining him up in the backfield and doing jet sweeps with the guy, maybe throwing a little wide receiver screen every blue moon with him. We were talking about this guy coming in and being a number one wide receiver, right? At the very beginning of the season. Kept saying, oh, he's going to be the number one wide receiver. We don't need to go out and get anybody else. Kadarius Toney's going to be the guy, right? And I bought it. We all bought it, okay? I'm like, cool. You know what? I think he's capable. Now, is he going to be the number one to get you 80, 90 balls a year? No, probably not. But could he get you 50? Absolutely he could. Definitely 60, especially with the way our offense works. You know, we know Travis is going to be the number one guy, receiver in our offense. So Kadarius Toney, everybody else around him, cool. That would have worked for us. But the problem is go to see, and when you start looking at it, well, now the first few games of the season, our number one receiver was Justin Watson. Now, look, if a guy's going after the ball, I got no problem with a guy going after the ball. I don't. Right? That's what he's supposed to do. Matter of fact, hats off to Justin Watson to go on and showing up because everybody else wasn't. That's showing me he got some dog in him. That's a guy who got cut and released from Tampa Bay, right? Didn't make their squad, comes to Kansas City, and he comes and solidifies himself as the number one for the first few weeks, right? Bravo. Good job, Justin Watson. Okay? Right? Where's all the other guys at? So we gave guys some amount of grace to get better because it is a process. I get that. I understand it. I know it fully well because I played. But then Kadarius Toney, like you said, we had him in the first game, and then all of a sudden he just disappears. Really no explanation.
None.
I mean, then everybody speculating, are we going to save him for the playoffs? And I'm like, why? Why are we going to save him for the playoffs? For what? We need to start winning games right now. We need to get him established right now doing things. Now, if you're afraid that he's brittle like a crack like an egg, okay. All right. That might be one of your concerns. But don't sit there and do us like that, and then all of a sudden, other guys are coming in and not getting the looks. It just doesn't seem like the offense is what it was supposed to be, what we expected it to be. And so Rashee Rice comes in. He starts showing up. Okay, and I'm naming all the guys that the question comes in. He named Rashee Rice, a rookie, comes in, gets the line, gets the offense down, starts to make plays. Very promising. Absolutely love Rashee Rice, what he's doing, right? But he's still developing. We still see the inexperience in Rashee Rice. I talked about this last week. He needs he definitely needs to secure the football better than what he has been doing. Those two things, like he was just a second away from losing those two fumbles. That's inexperience. And so a young guy, you don't want to necessarily put that all on his shoulders. You don't want to, especially if we got vets in the room that we said by all, counts and measures, the other guys are going to be the guy. Rashee Rice is coming in and he's going to learn a lot from these guys. Hope so be it. Well, Rashee Rice is doing a good job, still inexperienced. We have been waiting for everybody else to show up, right? Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore, this is my personal opinion, okay? I like Sky Moore as a receiver. I do believe Sky Moore is going to take a little bit more time than everybody else to develop. But Sky Moore can help us in a game in the slot, getting open in space, things that he's good at, okay? We put him on the jet sweep. That may not be one of his strong suits, okay? He's better, running man, kind of getting more nifty, getting against guys, double move guys in the inside, okay? Smaller guy, he could get in those little windows, right? And so we put Sky Moore, then put him on the outside. But we ain't running any routes on the outside for Sky Moore, anything that we're doing. Right? We haven't been doing anything with that.
No.
So I love 12 personnel. Going back to I love 12 personnel because Travis has been doing it. He's been killing it. But he's been double and triple team, right? Always slowing down. No, he's not slowing down. He's over getting beat up. He's getting triple and double team. That's what's happening with Travis, okay? Heck, you slow down too. We had to fight 2 or 3 guys off each and every play. Shoot, it take a lot out of you as well. So I do like that 12 personnel. I like Darius Toney. We got to get him involved. I do like Justin Watson, and I do like Rashee Rice, okay? Those going to be the guy. Okay? And all those guys, they block. All those guys block. Sky Moore comes in, he blocks too, right? Sky Moore comes, he blocks too. I heard Andy say today that, this growth for MVS, it's a difficult time. And guys have been there before, playing in the NFL, sometimes you have these slumps or whatever, like things are not going right for you. And you're just trying to figure everything out. He's got to have the patience, man, to get better. But while he's getting and developing, getting better, there's other guys that's striving. Those guys got to get out there and play, man. Those guys got to get out there and play. So I like the question. I do. I like the question. There's a lot of questions there, man. Going forward, what we need to do, we need to lean on those guys that you talked about as being a staple on offense, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting because, we're talking about playing on strengths. We're week 14 here, and our offense has been very, very inconsistent. But one of the few things that has been consistent when we do commit to the run is the run game, and that's also something too. It's like it's only taken about up until about 6 weeks ago we actually started to finally, or not even 6 weeks ago, probably a couple weeks ago, we finally started to commit to the run a little bit more. There was a couple games where there was no one run in the first quarter or first half, and then come out second half. We adjusted, but yeah, it's interesting take, at least for this year, because I know everyone's gonna say, oh, you say Patrick Mahomes is a game manager. Is that what we're really getting him to? No, we're not. We're saying this team's strength right now is the run game. So let's play complementary football for the run game. So let the run game be the focal point. And then I think it's a really good point by Chad with the question.
I do too. It's very, very much so. Very much so.
Because with this team, you never know. As far as next year wise, if we do retool offensively, as far as the skill players, yeah, at that point, sure. Then we can go back to what we were doing the past years. But this year, if the run game looks like our something we can lean on, then why not? And then,
well, look, man, Pacheco had 18 rushes for 100 and some yards last week. And I said this. I said, the more you give him the football, the better off he's going to be. And we've seen this all year. That's what he has been. And that's what he's been giving us. And also too, I said, this helps out the offensive line, and they're blocking. They hate just going back, retreating all the time, and their pass sets. Heck, now look, O-line, they love to just absolutely hit things, okay? I think they love hitting things coming off the football going forward than they do coming backwards, right? They hate catching. They want to hit. And Andy and those guys, Nagy, whoever's making the calls, they got to give the offensive line that. I remember Andy said it a couple of weeks ago. He was like, man, I owe the offensive line one. Yeah, absolutely. Right? Come on, Andy. You play the offensive line, man. You know how it is. He knows what it's like. Let the big guys go eat, man. Them suckers go hunt, man, to go eat. All right? Let them go gnaw on a couple of legs and hit somebody in the gut. Catch a couple guys and club them, in the neck. All right? We got some rough customers up front, man, and I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it.
We got a comment here from Earl Negretti. I think they should apply some no-huddle plays and let Mahomes have involvement in play calling or audibles. Do you think based on what you're seeing from your eye test, JD, do you think there's enough of this going on? Does Mahomes have – is he getting his – is he doing a lot of audibling? Is he doing a lot of stuff? As far as the plays that are called in, is he audibling out and doing a lot of his own stuff?
I'm sure he could probably do some check with knees. That's probably what they're doing, some RPOs, of course. Play calling and audibles. Well, definitely. I'm sure he has that ability to do it. And if he doesn't, he should. The only thing about that is because what he sees, what they're seeing upstairs, may be a little bit different, for him. And it may take, because we do a whole lot of motion and we do a whole lot of like the, shifting. There's a lot of changing in that, right? There's a lot of changing, and you don't want to become vanilla. You don't want to just constantly just put it in him just to make a call. So I like the dynamics, because the brilliance of what we need to see from our offensive coordinator is saying, hey, listen, I'm going to call this play. Here's your options on this play. Here's your first read, second read, and third. Okay? If you don't like it, you can check out of it. And he has that luxury to do it. You don't want to open up the whole playbook and have him call something, just out of the realm, like a whole different formation. Guys know you have certain calls you can make, okay, in your audibles. All right. You have a list of audibles that you can go to at any time. And I know he does have that. So I do like that, the no-huddle plays. The question is, what you get stuck with is the personnel. And that's what the problem is, Earl. Is sometimes you got personnel in there that may not be to your liking to run particular plays, right? Especially against a defense. So, but I do know he has that luxury to call some audibles at the line. Good question.
I agree. Take some pressure off wide receiver for now. What do you think about that element of it, of kind of being more prone to the run as far as doing that, and kind of going back to the question, being more of a run first team and taking some of the pressure off some of these young guys?
I think you have to do it. I think you absolutely have to do it. Matter of fact, we know the run, and I keep saying this over and over again. Okay, the run opens up the pass. The run opens up the pass. I know it. They know it. Everybody knows that. Okay. Problem is, I guess we just decide we ain't gonna do it. We do what we do well, right? It's like, we just gonna make sure we stick with what we gonna do. Yeah. Ain't no problem with that. But hey, look, but also too, you need to understand, man. Hey, if our strong suit is that guy number 10 back there, who's got all the juice and the energy, who can't wait to go out there and hit somebody and run through a couple holes and get up swinging and do all his little thing. Hey, we got to ride the back of that guy. That's our dude right there. That's our dude right now. And so everybody plays off of that. Everybody will benefit off a great running game. Okay? When you start looking at teams that's going to go deep in the playoffs, they're going to have an effective runner. I'm telling you. Even if you go up let's just say you go up, third or fourth quarter, okay? You need to have a 4-minute offense to keep the ball in your hand. And that takes an effective running game, right? If you don't have an effective running game, then you got to throw the ball, then you stop the clock, right? So you could go into all these different scenarios, but why not establish a good running game and get that first? We know we have it, but that would do wonders for the wide receivers. Wonders. Heck, the O-line would take you out probably for steaks and burgers. You do that.
Ain't bad at all.
Man, come on, man. Look, especially if something like that is working. Okay. Now, look, if they start giving us 8 in the box, which they're not, then that'll be different. But then you can throw out to a personnel. Then you can throw out to a personnel now. You give 8 in the box because we have capable guys. That's why I like 12 personnel. I love that. But yeah, man, right now what we're seeing is they're dropping 7 in coverage, sometimes 8, and they rushing 4. And that's what's making it murky for Patrick, getting the ball off, okay, finding the windows and the holes.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. A couple of years ago when we went to that whole snafu and they did the whole cover 2 stuff, we were refusing to run the ball. At that time, we just weren't running the ball. We were still trying to force the vertical passing game. Now, I mean, we actually have a competent run game that can be very lethal if we kind of commit to it, as we've shown in recent weeks.
Well, look, we've even had CEH still came in and gotten a little taste of it.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's good. That's good. So that means everybody's coming in and winning. Everybody's coming in and winning on the running game. Okay. If that's our strong suit, then we need to stick with it. We need to do more of that, right? I'm not saying we just turn into a run heavy team. I'm just saying we need to do more of it.
Yep.
More of that balance of running the football and the pass. Okay. Because they're symbiotic and they work together. They work together.
Yep.
Green Bay, hey man, Green Bay last week did it masterfully. Like I said, we had our linebackers running and chasing cars all day. Okay, with the play action. That's what it does. It opens up everything like that up.
Yeah, and Dylan's one of those physical runners too. And when you get that guy going, woo wee, man, it's tough, man. That guy's a unit.
Oh yeah.
So moving on to like this game coming up. So obviously it's another chapter. It's the chapter 6 in the Mahomes, Josh Allen meets. I mean, it's an interesting one this year because it's we're kind of getting a little bit of playoff football in a way, survival mode for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, this is pretty much. I won't say I'm not going to write them off because the AFC is kind of wide open right now as far as top to bottom, but they lose this game, they go to drop to 7 losses on the season. So this is kind of like playoff survival kind of mode for these guys. Whereas on the other end, we're fighting to show a bit of life on the offense. Whereas, a lot of people are doubting us, and this isn't the year for the Chiefs. We're having comments. I just saw a comment on here of a Chiefs fan just throwing the towel in on this year. So yeah, a lot of people are writing us off, and it's kind of a game this week as far as will the Chiefs kind of show some life on offense, and will Buffalo kind of extend their life this season in winning this game? 7-6 and 6-7 are very different as far as, and you know how that goes. But JD, when you see what's going on, what's at stake here for Buffalo and what's at stake here for the Chiefs this weekend, at least as far as the seeding in the playoffs for us, and then them just trying to get in the playoffs, who do you think needs this game more this week between Buffalo and Kansas City?
Who needs it more?
Who needs it more? Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, the Bills definitely need it more. They need it more than anything else. They're playing for just to shoot. I mean, they get once you start firing coaches, you're in a bad way. So they definitely need it more because they're looking to try to salvage their season, whatever they can, whatever they possibly can. They're looking to try to do that now against Kansas City. So we know we're going to get their best. We already know that. But the Chiefs, without a doubt, need it too. They're just as I would say, I'm not saying desperation, but it's just as important to the Chiefs as well to win this game. One, because it's an AFC game, for one, okay? Because you're trying to establish still in the hunt, trying to get the number 1 seed. If everything works out, you look for other teams to lose, right? Home field advantage, all those different things. But this will, without a doubt, and I don't think it's even all about that, but this will establish the people, let them still know, like, look, the Chiefs are still serious. People are doubting us. They are doubting us on this, and guess what? I don't like it. I don't like people saying, well, what are the Chiefs being in this? Look, and I've heard some wonderful guys, commenters and stuff who still don't doubt the Chiefs. And you will be a fool to do that. You'll be a fool to doubt the Chiefs, honestly. Because the issues that they have, right, okay, are fixable. The penalties, they're fixable, right? The drop passes, they're fixable. We're talking about the fumbles. Those things are fixable. The turnovers are fixable. So these are things that you have to go back to, focus, concentrate, and make sure these aren't going to be the things that beat you. And I seen in one of the comments, it's always us beating ourselves. It's not, I don't ever see it looking at like another team's doing something to us. It's us beating ourselves. The only game that I say that we lost was probably the Broncos. That's a game we lost. We lost that game. Okay. We weren't ready. We weren't prepared. You know, guys had flus, whatever. No excuse for that whatsoever, right? But they were hungry. It was a hungry team. The Bills are hungry. They know their backs are against the wall. They know this. For them, they lose this game, their season's over. They might as well get ready to just, you know, hey, where are we going on vacation after this thing is done? They need to start making their flight plans after you have the exit meeting after this game is over. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I do believe the Chiefs are going to beat them. I do believe that. But you just can't let these guys, you can't let them hang around, and you can't let them start getting hot. Now, you know, Josh Allen's going to do everything possible to try to will his team to win. He's going to try to do it all, right? Diggs is Diggs. We know we're going to get with him. Davis and all those, Kincaid, we know what we're going to have with those guys. I think our defense is up to the challenge. They've been up to the challenge. I think this is a great game for them to get ready for the playoffs because this is one of the better teams in the NFL. They're obviously, their record doesn't reflect that, right? I mean, they lost to the Jets. They lost to the Patriots, you know. And so those are two games that they probably shouldn't have lost. They lost to the Eagles, which they probably shouldn't have lost that game either.
No.
So we know it's going to be a very – and Sean McDermott does a good job. I like Sean. I had Sean when I was up in Philadelphia. And he knows Sean real well. They know each other real well. So it's going to be a good game, man, on Sunday. It's going to be a really, really good game. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see our progression of what we've been talking about. And hopefully it comes to fruition, right? Hopefully it's just not, you know, a mouthpiece, okay? And, you know, just at talk. Hope we put it into action, man. I know these guys are ready. And I know they've been working to try to do that, all right? Just got to be patient with it, man. Yeah. And then when I'm telling everybody this, I'm telling myself, you know, the patience. But make no mistake about it. It's time to go to work. There's no more playtime. It's time to go to work, right? We have a chance to will our own future right now, okay? Put it all in our hands. We got the guys to do it. But we don't want to get behind the 8 ball any more than we need to, all right? We don't. I think this is going to probably be our toughest contest for the rest of the year, the rest of the regular season, is the Bills. And we're going to put it to them. We're definitely going to put it to them. So run the football effectively, same thing. Got to run the football effectively. But go ahead.
And also got to stop the run too. So I mean, stop the run, then you kind of make them one-dimensional, and that's kind of the issue we've been having on defense for the last few weeks. Is even with the beginning of that Raiders game when it was kind of so close when they took the lead, they were getting Jacobs going. Last week they got AJ Dillon going. When we played against Denver, Javonte Williams got going. And also too, that's one thing I think bodes well for us. We have a very difficult time with like kind of the bruiser type running backs. Whereas Buffalo's got James Cook, not so much of a bruiser, that's more of a burner. So a little bit different. You got more of that. It's the smash types. You got the dash types. He's more of the dash type. And I think we'll be able to bottle him up. Just obviously got to be ready for the home run plays. But yeah, that's not a guy who's going to kind of gash you 3-4 yards. No tough yardage there with James Cook. So I think that bodes well for us. Also, another stat I was looking at. So Buffalo obviously needs to win this game, 6-7, 7-6. Otherwise, they're looking at Maui trips if they lose this game, which obviously we want to make sure we do that for them. But yeah, Sean McDermott 6-0 off the bye week. He's following the Andy Reid model off the bye week, being very prepped after the bye week. So yeah, he's got a chance to go 7-0 against us this weekend after the bye week in his tenure. So that's a stat. I know it's one of those meaningless stats, but it's a stat nonetheless.
Daggone, look, hey man, it's the NFL. You said the same thing about Andy, then all of a sudden we get beat.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: if you decide to show up and play football, all right, you're gonna be okay, right? Same thing. Eliminate the penalties, do the things you need to do to win the football game. You just got to do enough to win. So that is, getting rid of the mistakes. But I just kind of talked about the running game. Our D-line's got to do a much better job, okay, holding up. We get Bolton back this week. That's a wonderful thing. That's a beautiful thing to see. He's going to be back. So that's going to help out a whole lot against that running game. But we got to get pressure on Josh Allen. We got to get him down because they got capable wide receivers. They got a great tight end in Kincaid. Knox still is Knox still playing? No, he's hurt. He's on IR. I forgot.
Kincaid.
But yeah. But the thing is, if we stop the run, now we know we just got to get pressure on Josh. That's it. And you got to keep him in the pocket, get the tackles, do what you can. But we got to go up against those wide receivers. We know where that's where their strength lies. Okay, throwing the football, wide receivers, Josh Allen. Okay, all in that order. To me, they're not as productive in the running game. Okay, not saying that they can't run, but we do need to bottle those guys up.
One thing that, because they kind of went on a whole spell of not being able to score points for a little while. They had some big parts of the season, in the beginning of the season, where they scored like 38 against the Raiders, 48 against the Dolphins, and then they kind of went on this little spell again when they lost the Patriots. Scoring 25. They had that back and forth, that ugly Thursday night game with the Bills or the Buccaneers, where they won 24-18. They squeezed away a win at the end. Then losing the Broncos 24-22. But the last 2 weeks, 1-1 in the last 2 weeks, but last 2 weeks they've combined for scoring 69 points for the last 2 weeks before the bye week, obviously. Is that something that kind of scares you? Because that's one thing. Josh Allen, he's a badass Pro Bowl quarterback. He can score with the best of them. He could chuck it, but also he's also a guy who can be careless at times with the ball too. So that's also something too. That's stop the run, make Josh Allen do Josh Allen type things.
Yeah. Well, first off, nothing scares me, Marcus. Okay, nothing scares me at all. All right, let's get that down. Okay, first and foremost. All right, take it all on, baby. That's what we do. All right, and look, I don't think our guys are going to blink either. I think that's what you do with this. You got to create pressure because he is a little, he's a little reckless with the football. We know that. And he puts the ball out there when he starts running. He's long, and so my thing would be, if I'm Spags, I'm telling defensive ends and everybody, like, listen, you get a chance to block to tackle Josh Allen, strip at that ball first. When you're breaking him down, strip at the ball. Okay. He likes trying to come out of tackles, but while he's doing that, pull at that arm, strip at that ball, whatever you need to do to bring him down. That's what it has to be. So I'm expecting Spags to dial some things up, bring some pressure, because now you got your guy back in the middle, Bolton, to do it. Okay, to cause some defenses, and we were kind of talking about this, in our text feed with some of the players, that because of last week, Cochran coming in, we might have been limited in some of the blitzing last week against Jordan Love. And we didn't quite see as much of that second half. We just didn't. But it takes guys being in the right position to make those calls and trusting everybody's going to be where they need to be. I don't think we'll have to worry about that with what's the name in there at all, though. Okay, with Bolton in. Yeah. But now, let me ask you. So I know that we talk about scoring points. Okay, these last couple of games, right? But then, if we're looking at it, okay, we're looking at it. So the Eagles, which I think, at the time, they had some holes in their defense. Okay. And the Jets, the Jets and, kind of what they are. They're just trying to hold on for dear life.
I know.
Trying to hold on for dear life.
The coaching staff's trying to hold on for dear life too.
Absolutely. So, that's the thing. That's the thing. So I think if we like I said, if we get some pressure on Josh Allen, get in his face, really challenge the wide receivers, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. So
seen Mike Brennan. Any update on Tranquil? Yeah, the latest update on Tranquil was in concussion protocol. He did not practice today, so usually when guys get the protocol on the following week, they do not play the next week. So I don't see him playing this week at all.
Oh, and he like when you seen him, man, he was woozy. Like that's a significant concussion. So I doubt if they'll be able to clear him enough for the game. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even want to, especially the way that they was walking him off. He's going to need a week, if not two. Shoot, to be honest with you. So
that was all AJ Dillon's knee, man.
I tell you, man. I mean, wham! That's almost like a daggone tree trunk hitting you right there on the side of the temple, on the side of the head.
Did you see? This is all a little off topic here. The Hayden Hurst. You see his whole thing?
No. What's going on with him?
Tight end, for those of you, it's a tight end for the Carolina Panthers. His dad tweeted an hour, a little while ago. So he's been out for a little while, since November 9th, almost a month. Panthers tight end Hayden Hurst's father, Jerry Hurst, tweeted that his son has been diagnosed with post-traumatic amnesia by an independent neurologist from the hit that he took in Chicago on November 9th. Quote, slow recovery, don't know when he'll be back, is what his dad tweeted.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever heard of something like that before as far as a head injury?
I have not. Post-traumatic amnesia. So yeah. I guess, amnesia, obviously. We just have to say after that, like you said, after him in Chicago. So it's just like he's probably just like missing certain things, memories and whatnot. It's like I don't get like what's going on. That's a shame, man. But hey, that's why. I never want to disrespect guys who playing the game. Okay, I know we can get upset about, maybe things not working. We don't like sometimes we don't see things out on the field, but we need to realize and understand, man, that these guys are putting their lives on the line. Okay, and have some respect for it for sure. Yeah, definitely prayers for him. Seriously, man. It's a tight end, man. I like Hayden Hurst a lot. He's one of the guys that I think is very athletic, a good tight end. But yeah, man, definitely prayers for Hayden Hurst. And so hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. And whatever this is, hopefully, and I know he's probably getting all the best care that he possibly is, to help him out with this process.
Yeah.
That's, man, wow. I never heard anything like that, man. It's real deal out here, Marcus. This man, real deal. And so I'm thankful. As much as I see it, because I'm seeing it more on the field when guys stumble. We see Stroud. You see when Stroud kind of got up. You see him get hit, and he was like, and they pulled him up. He was no, and ref was like, no, you are going out right now. And yes, take your butt to the sideline. Like the game will be here. It's going to be here, right? Go and get checked out first before anything else happens to you. Okay. We seen that. It was unfortunate to watch the tour when he went through it,
twice.
Yeah. Shoot.
It's for me. It's always like it's obviously unfortunate for anybody who gets a concussion, especially when you see it so visibly. It's always the worst though. It's when it's like a guy who's like a 5th round pick, 6th round pick, undrafted guy who gets a concussion, tries to get up and tries to play it off because they don't know if that job will be there when they get back from it. And that's why when people talk about like, team-friendly deals, this kind of stuff, teams have no loyalty to players. And that's why at the end of the day, when we talk about these contract stuff, yes, I want the Chiefs to get the best deals with guys, and I want this team to be, filled with all types of talent at the great price and stuff. But like at the end of the day, players got to do what's right for them, because at the end of the day, the teams are doing what's right for themselves. So if a 5th-round pick gets a concussion during a game and he has to come out because he's in protocol, and even though he wants to go back on the field and he's fine, but he gets a concussion, he's got to be out. That job may not be there when he comes back, because the teams have no loyalty to him because he was a 5th-round pick or undrafted guy. And like that's when I get like very like, kind of upset when I see that stuff, because like that guy, that job may not be here when he comes back from that injury, and that's why he's so pissed off on the sideline.
I hear you, man, but if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
100%.
So, we got to be able to protect these guys as much as possible. And I'm glad the NFL is doing a lot more of that. Especially when I see, guys and friends like that suffer from the remnants of playing football. Okay. So I get it. I get every bit of it. And so it's like, hey man, I get you want the opportunity, and you are a 5th-round pick, and they're not beholden to you anyway. But that's why it's important that the NFL takes care of guys, especially when they're out there right now, and what they're giving up.
Yep.
Put in jeopardy. As we're talking about livelihood, their lives. So that's why I never want to be too hard on guys. Okay, these are real men. These are real people out here. And so, I would worry, about your family if something happened to you. Like I would want everybody to worry about, football players out here as well, right? 100%. Oh, well, you getting paid a whole lot of money? Yeah, but shoot, these guys are getting paid a whole lot of money, but they put themselves on the line too. Okay, they love what they do. I get that. That's what the market is. It's what they say guys should get paid. I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Yep.
End of the day, man, if you ain't got your health, man, it don't matter. None of it matters.
Yep. 100%. So yeah, wish Hayden Hurst and his family, wish Hayden Hurst a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can get back to a playing, and hopefully he can get everything like they've sorted out with whatever. I mean, I've never heard this thing. When I saw that as a post-traumatic amnesia, I was like, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah. Man.
But we're going to end the show right now with our game picks. So Chiefs hosting Buffalo on 4:25 on Sunday. We're at 4:25 on Sunday. Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite, and the over-under for the total points of this game is 48.5, which is a significant jump from some of our past games. Last few games, our total points have been very low. So this leads me to believe that they think we're going to have a pretty good offensive game, or score a lot of points at least. So JD, who do you have in this the 6th installment of Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes?
So I do believe this is going to be somewhat of a high-scoring game. You said 48.5?
Yeah, 48.5 is the total points for this one.
Okay. I got a score going 31-24. That's what I'm looking at, 31-24. All right, in favor of the Chiefs. And the good thing is I do see some good things out there on the offense. I do. I do see some plays that are promising. Okay. Now we got to work on consistency. Now we got to keep, harping accountability. Now we got to keep looking in guys' eyes and saying, are you bought in all the way? Okay. To make sure we're going where we need to go. And everybody is on the same page and understands what is required of you. Okay. So that's why I got 31-24. The thing is, man, we sustained some drives last week. We sustained some good drives. We just didn't score. We just didn't score. I think it's going to be a similar game for us this week, and we need to capitalize when we are down there in the red zone, and I think we will. The Bills are one of those teams that, they'll get into spurts. They can score, quickly. Matter of fact, I think they're better when they're doing the hurry-up offense, to be honest with you, than anything else. And I think that's probably what they're trying to – they'll probably get into that, maybe start scoring some points. But they don't eat up a whole lot of the clock. They don't eat a whole lot of the clock up. So that's what my score is, 31-24. That's my that is where I'm at with it. Boyd Lockhart, 38-24. Love it. I love it, Boyd. I love it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, this is a tough one. I do think we're going to win. This is obviously Buffalo Bills fans who may watch the show think they were biased, right? I just think the line has us winning this game. I mean, 2.5 points at home. We, got rocked on some, not rocked, but, we lost by 8 points on Sunday against the Packers. And we just haven't looked the best for the last few games. And I also, too, I think the fact that at Buffalo, this is pretty much a playoff game for them, for the fact they have to win this game. I thought this would play out more so in the spread, and I thought they would give that more to Buffalo. But since they didn't, and we're at 2.5 points, I think the betting public is going to be riding Buffalo big time this week. And I'm a big fan of not betting with everybody else. I'll bet with a small percentage. You'll be betting with Kansas City. I think we win 27-24. So, yeah, I'll be slightly over the total points there, but I think we cover the 2.5 points. I think it's going to be 27-24 is high scoring if you look at some of our games we've had. So, yeah, it's more on the high scoring end. But I think we see a little bit of the offense opening up again. I think we'll see a little bit of what we saw in that Raiders game a little bit. It's going to be a balanced approach. I don't say we lean one way on the pass or the run. I just think it's a balanced approach, much like we saw in that Raiders game.
Yeah, and me too. So I'm looking at the scores, man. Who they've had. So you really only had, over 20 points, meaning 21 or more. So you only had 1, 2, 3 teams. 3 teams score over 21 points against the Bills. One of them being the Broncos. We got a much better offense than the Broncos. Eagles is another one. Got a good offense. And the third team was the Patriots. So if we run the football with Pacheco effectively, which open up the pass, I could see Travis Kelce having a big game. I could see Rashee Rice having a big game. And I could see, hopefully, I think Kadarius Toney's going to have at least 4 catches. That's what I'm looking for. At least 4 catches. I think MVS and Sky will give us probably a couple catches too. But I think if you've been stressing to this wide receiver group and the guys that's catching the football, that they got to do a much better job. You got to be better. I'm looking for the professionalism. I'm looking for that grit and that dog in these guys starting to come out now. Okay? And it needs to start popping and coming out at the right time. And I think this is probably the right time when these things starting to do it. All right? Like Brendan says, I'm embracing the Marty Ball theme. My boys have been playing 24-20 Chiefs.
I like it.
I like it. I don't think we get away from who we are, though. I think we'll run the football, and then we're going to pass a lot, too. Right? Because why? Because we're the Chiefs, and it's Andy. So that's the reason. But I do believe we're going to run a whole lot more than what we have been running. Okay?
It's going to be 41 and sunny on Sunday in Kansas City.
It's perfect weather.
Oof, that's so cold.
41?
JD, I'm a softie, man.
Wow.
I have to be layered up in that. We do a flag football game that we do. It's called the Winter Wonderland Bowl. We do it. We do it the day before New Year's Eve, and I'm already looking at the 3-week forecast. Now it's supposed to be like 42, and I'm like, man, I was like, we might have to cancel this. Like, nah, man, we got to play unless it snows. Unless it's like really bad weather, man, we have to play it. I'm like, all right, I'm getting my hand warmer ready. I got like my 3 Under Armours ready to go. I'm gonna be layered up. Let's put it to do that way.
3.
Well, yeah, I'll probably start with 3, but then as I get warmed up throughout the game and take off, then take off.
Gotcha. Man,
what did you have to playing in this weather and this Kansas City weather? I mean, like, what was there like a pregame thing that you did to like kind of get your body all warmed up, or you just went out there and just kind of like soaked it in? I mean, did you take any drinks or any kind of like supplements that made you like warm to go out there, like a thermogenic or something, or no?
No. No. I would do the old school Vaseline on the arms. That helps. That works out a whole lot. They got this other stuff down that kind of helps warm you up. I put in like a little bit of the hot stuff on. But other than that, man, I'm sleeveless. I'm going out there like it's 85. 41 is a beautiful day to me. It's beautiful. I'm like, shoot, that's perfect weather. That's football weather right there, baby.
Yeah, it is.
Weather right there, folks. So, yeah, and I get, sitting in the stands, stuff like it's going to be a little cold. But, yeah, 41. Shoot. Hey, man, we talking about 2 winner teams. So you got the Bills and you got the Chiefs. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
What do you? So when you see, I always think it's funny when, like, for example, it was last year or 2 years ago we played the Seahawks. It was last year when Metcalf and all those guys came out pregame without shirts on and stuff, and they were like catching balls. It was like 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Did you do stuff like that?
Not with my shirt off. No.
No.
It's what it gets to a point that just mind over matter. It really is. And you do have to embrace it because you have to play in it for the rest of the game. You know what I mean? The whole game. It's not like it's going to turn sunny and get up 20 degrees at some point, right? When
You'll warm up eventually.
Yeah. So what you do is, man, you just sink in, right? Go to your happy place, be where you need to be. Hey, man, everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. But if I start wearing sleeves, that's cold. Believe me, it's a cold game. If I wear sleeves, I'm like, it is cold. This sucker's cold out there. It's like where you feel pins and needles in your skin. That's where it gets cold like that.
Is there any game in particular that you remember, like where it got like that cold, where you're like, let's layer up a little bit?
Buffalo one time, I went up there and played in Buffalo. It was cold. Also, we had a game against San Diego in December. It was cold. It was real cold.
I think I remember you had a long catch in that game, didn't you?
I did. I scored a touchdown in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get up off that ground fast enough, man. I was like, touchdown! I was like, get up. You should over and get some of this heat. That's the worst part. The worst part is like your hands and your feet. When your hands and feet get cold, then it's miserable. That's when it's miserable, right? That's the ones like, God, I just need to get warm on those things. But I remember playing up in New York against the Giants one year, and it was like that cold rain, and it was coming down, and that's the worst when you're cold and you're wet. And I remember we were out there on the field. I was blocking Stray and those guys. Me and Stray were talking to each other, and we were daggone pillow fight with each other. This daggone like a little pillow fight. Nobody wanted to hit. Nobody wanted to tackle. Shoot. I just remember I was like, look, we need to go ahead and get this game over as soon as possible. Seriously. Somebody gonna get hypothermia out on the joker right there, man.
This was during your Eagles days?
No, this was the Chiefs. I was at the Chiefs on this one.
Oh, okay. Was this the famous Tiki Barber run for like 300 yards game? Like that Thanksgiving game?
Yeah, nobody wanted to tackle it. Might have been. If it was raining that game, it was it. It was it. I played for New York a lot, so I don't know, but I think it might have been the one. That sucker was running everywhere, and I don't think nobody wanted to tackle that joker. Because his dad got his thigh pads probably felt like cinder blocks. Yeah, like, man, I ain't hitting this joker, man. I'm gonna break my hands. Shit, man. Deal with that.
Funny.
Yeah, that's the misery. That's the one where you got to get the bus loaded up. Go on, get it. Hey, warm the sucker up. Get loaded up. We in and out of here. Coach, you ain't gotta have a long speech. Hey, good game, great game, whatever it is. Hey, we lost. Hey, we'll get on the field. We'll talk about it. We can there. Take a shower. Let's get out of here. That's why when it gets cold like that, man.
I think in doing a lot of like the images and thumbnails we've had, I think I found photos from that game you were talking about against San Diego. That was like when that was 2000 or not, like 2001. That was like
I don't know when.
It was. Although I'm saying because based on that time period, because like that was before like you had like the compression type material and stuff. I'm pretty sure you were wearing like a white turtleneck.
Yeah. So we still had the compression, but the compression wasn't gonna work, man. You needed that deep cotton. What you needed. Like a turtleneck and all that. I'm like, shit. I probably want a little compression. I'm like, oh, I didn't go cut it. No. We're gonna go get the big guns on this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Alan, hey, y'all guys, hey, go get the boxes in the back. Because it's that type of day today. You know? When you get out there, you're like, woof, you gotta, you open that joker up. I didn't care.
That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, it was probably the team issued the one with like the little logo on the side.
Yeah. It was one of those. That's the ones we used to take pictures in sometimes. Guys with turtlenecks.
No, I think they still do that. That must be like a Chiefs tradition because they still do the team with the team issued turtlenecks.
Do they?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
I know Andy continued it. I don't know if they're still doing it right now, but at least as if a couple of years ago they were still doing it. But I think it's not like an embroidered logo on the turtleneck anymore. I think it's one of those like I don't know, like screen printed logos on the turtleneck now.
Okay.
They got cheap with it. Back in the day, you guys had embroidered logos on the turtleneck.
Oh yeah. It's high class right there, baby.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Something talks sophistication with a turtleneck on. I've been watching. I've been getting on my boy TG when he wears his little turtleneck. Oh, look at you wearing turtlenecks now. That looks sophisticated out there.
TG man's class personified.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for everyone for tuning in. We had a consistent 40 people in the chat the entire time, pretty much. So it was nice to have everyone's engagement on this preview of this Buffalo Bills game coming up this Sunday. So for our schedule rollout. So Friday night we'll have our betting show, and then Sunday, right after the Bills and Chiefs game, will be right here on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, come check us out, man. Appreciate everybody coming up. Hey. Don't be scared. Come in, come talk to us. We open those doors up. Come say something. Come holler. We'll put y'all there. You don't have to see your face. Hey, all right. But come talk to us. Don't be scared.
Yeah. We're not gonna hurt. We're not gonna bite. We're not gonna do anything, guys. So just come in and ask away your question. Get your concerns out there. But that does it for us. We'll see you guys Friday on our betting show. Love you, JD.
Love you too.
See you, brother.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.